Coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this, man. I got a question I want to ask y'all. Did Verb end Yoshi's career? Did Verb end Yoshi's career? Why out of a sudden, since she been entangled with Verb and mentioned with Verb, he go live, she all in his lives, and she actually even asked me, why did you say on his live, why you asked him a question about us? Because that's what was going around, being speculated that y'all supposed to have been some type of item, or he's supposed to have been managing you or something like that. So I asked him, was it true about all the rumors that was said about y'all, so he could clear it up himself. A lot of people were speculating also that behind Yoshi denying quantum physics, to write for her during this 100,000 tournament, that maybe that came from some type of outside influence. Seeing that he had just previously wrote for her in back-to-back battles that may have been responsible for her landing on this bracket for the $100,000, only for a little more than a week just before lights, camera, action, she decided to turn him down and say, I take it from here. Which offended quantum physics, that he felt used because she, for the most part, backed out on an agreement that they had between the two. Without him, he probably do know where the outside influence come from, because he mentioned Verb to some degree of him and her entanglement together. Now, if he's supposed to be managing her or grooming her or showing her how to get ahead, Verb, you don't think she ran that by him? Y'all don't think she ran that by him before she actually told quantum physics personally? I'll let y'all be the judge of that. However, if he was behind it, that was a devastating hit to her career. Because from this day forward, any believability of her, and as crazy as this gonna sound, is basically gone. Even though she do thought bars and she a woman and she known for getting bust down, how do your career hurt that bad that it take away that believability? That's crazy. Anything she say fire now, it's gonna be questioned. Like, did she write that? And anything she say bad and do bad about, gonna stick with her. Like, see, I told you, she can't. Then you got all the battle rap chicks against you. This look bad. Right when your career was starting to take off, now it gets shut down. So how did she do in her battle against drugs? How did she do? Saying she was going to write her own material. How did she do? Crazy, she ended up getting 30 to some degree, even though drugs messed up in the third. They were still trying to say it was a 30. I'm going to give you my personal opinion, no hating, on how she did if she wrote that on her own. Her first round was terrible. Her first round was completely terrible, terrible, terrible. I ain't going to even lie. She looked at uncomfortable up there. Nothing wasn't landing. That sounded like you wrote that. That sounded like you may have wrote that by yourself. I'm just keeping it 100. Second round, she began to pick up, and you could tell it was a difference. I don't know if there was any influence behind that. I don't know. I'm just telling you my opinion of what I saw when I watched that battle, because I was looking forward to seeing how good she may do by herself without his influence. So first round, you come on, and when she come on the first round, it was terrible. Second round, she come on, it was kind of better. She seemed more comfortable, relaxed, the jitters was off. Third round, she sounded back to Yoshi again. She wasn't as bad as everybody was saying. In fact, I'm going to keep it real. Her last 2 rounds didn't seem as though they wasn't too far from her previous battles. In fact, I may agree with what she said in this battle, probably better than what she said in the other 2. I'm just keeping it real. As far as like her energy, her aggression, the things she was saying, it didn't sound too far off. That first round was just terrible. But it's going to be just like Bonnie's career. Ever since quantum physics came out about Bonnie and it was exposed she was a ghostwriter, she's been going downhill ever since. Sad thing about it is, for the most part in battle rap, we guys know that women got ghostwriters. We know that. And we don't care to some degree until we see it. Once we see it, it's a difference. Now you see what you always known, and now you act off what you know. We know you women got ghostwriters. But if it's not exposed and it don't come to the light, out of sight, out of mind, we ain't tripping. But once it come to the light and it's been shown and exposed, now the ball game changed. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Even though I think she did good her second and third round. It wasn't good enough to beat Drugs, though. So I give her the third round. She won the third round, especially after that choke. Even though Drugs was in his bag, he was talking to her. Drugs was in his bag. And Drugs was speaking about not seeing his daughter or something like that. I don't get that, bro. That's what we have the court systems for. When these women playing games with you about you can't see your kids, they don't have the right and power to do that stuff unless you're giving it to them and you allowing them to do that and you okay with it. And you okay with it. You get what I'm saying? And you just going to accept it. But according to your raps, how you say, I've been trying hard to see my daughter for the past year. I don't know what happened, what went on, but if your children wasn't taken from you and you hadn't molested your children or physically abused your children or had them in some type of unsafe environment, they might stop you from seeing your children. That's the purpose of the court system. They stop all that type of stuff. You go to court for your daughter, the least you're going to get, at the least, you're going to get joint custody if you're the real father and visits that she can't stop. So I don't know, brother. But if that's something you want to accept, you want to agree with, then that's on you. But other than that, she can't stop you from that, bro. But he was going in on her, though. He was going in on her talking about that, though. He was talking about when he looked at Yoshi, he looked at what his daughter could be if he not in her life. Fire. he was getting down. He was in his bag. I ain't gonna even lie. Drugs were snapping. But I'm just keeping it real, man. Yoshi, I don't know, man. I don't know how you gonna bounce back from this one. I don't know how you gonna bounce back from this one, man. I'm just keeping it real. I believe this hit your stock heavy. Then you get kicked out in the first round after being exposed as being a person who have a ghostwriter. Then the judge is calling it for the most part a 30 all 3 rounds drugs. That just look bad. Then quantum physics piggybacking off of it, laughing like I told y'all she got smoked. These women don't know, you know what I'm saying? Just adding insult to injury. I don't know who gave you that advice. You should at least waited till the tournament was over. I'm just keeping it real. If your ghostwriter was getting you this far, when that money came on the line, instead of getting big-headed before you even got to receive anything, I would have kept my ghostwriter. I'm just keeping it real. I would have kept my ghostwriter. I'm just keeping it real. I'd have kept him. Then after I lost, I probably would have been like, all right, I'm going to do this on my own. But it is what it is, man. This your boy Battle Truth. It ain't my judgment. That's the question. It's yours. I don't know who influenced you, who said that to you, where you get that advice from, who was in your ear. But I think it was a bad decision going into this tournament. And we saw the results of it. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. It's your boy Battle Truth. It ain't my judgment. That's the question. It's yours. Hit the link in the description box. Subscribe to Battle Truth. Join my Patreon if you ain't a member of my Patreon, man. Trust in the Lord Jesus Christ and everything will go well with you in your life. It ain't my judgment. That's the question. It's yours.